Good afternoon, friends. As you know, today we have lecture on soft skill. I started yesterday on different aspects of soft skill. You came to know and what is the soft, why it is its importance, and we have started with interview skills. And today we'll move further on interview skills, and we'll try to understand what is personality development, how a personality should be for a person holding a different post. And generally, what we see that people start emulating the personality of others. That is not good. According to the job you do, according to the situation, the personality, what you want that should be. So what is the criteria of personality, what is the component of personality, we will try to understand. And for discussion on this very topic, we have in studio eminent professional Dr. Subhas Kakkar. He is presently director of one of the reputed management institute in Delhi and has experience of about 10 years of teaching. And before coming to in teaching, he has been holding an important position in multinational company, a vice president. So I think his knowledge of experience will help us to understand this topic in a new way, and will give an insight, and will also prepare us to how to face the interview and how personality we should hold. So on your behalf, I welcome him for the EduSet lecture. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Arminder, for giving an elaborate introduction. Viewers, yesterday we discussed regarding interview skills. We learned a lot of things starting from 12 by 12 by 12 theory, and we said there are different good things which we should follow so that we are able to face the interview without any fear, and what sort of preparations we made so that we are able to get the job on our own terms. We will continue with the same lecture, and today we will discuss some negative things which one should avoid while attending and while preparing for the interview. And these things we will discuss, and then we will continue with the personality development. What creates a bad impression? And there are certain points one should avoid. Poor personal appearance creates a very bad impression on the interviewers. And even if you are well qualified and well talented and very intelligent, if your appearance is bad, nobody is going to like you. Negative attitude at all levels, it should be stopped. We should always show positive attitude in the interview while answering the questions, while replying to the queries which the interviewers raise. Lack of interest and enthusiasm, that is another point we should avoid. We should show that we are interested in the job which is being offered, and we are the best candidate to have this job. If we don't get this job, it is lost to the organization, and if this kind of feeling is given, one has good chances of getting success in the interview. Lack of preparation is also a point which should be discouraged. Rather, we should prepare well, practice well before the interview so that we are able to get the interview results in our favor. Poor knowledge of the role, again it is something we should avoid. We should have a good knowledge of the role which is being offered to us. For that, we should ask questions to the interviewers, and we can ask questions to the HR department who is offering us the job. If we are clear about the role which is being offered to us, we will be preparing well, and we shall be answering to the queries and the questions which are being raised in the interview in a proper way and in an effective way, and we shall be giving positive answers. Failure to give concrete examples of skills. Again, there are chances that interviewers may ask you regarding your skills which you have gained so far, and they will be asking you to narrate stories. We discussed how to narrate the stories. There is a STAR method which we have already discussed. One should follow the STAR method in giving the explanation on the skills which one possesses. overemphasis on money rewards, and we should always at all stages avoid talking about money and the rewards and the compensation and the salary aspect of the job, because when we have gone for the interview, we know that what sort of salary is being offered to us, and instead of asking questions on the salary, we should ask the questions on the role being offered to us. Lack of career plan. This also gives a wrong impression to the interviews if we are not clear about our career growth plan, and that career growth plan should be ready with us while facing the interview. When we are asked, we should be able to tell in appropriate words and appropriate terms what our career growth plan is there. Okay, maybe after 1 year we want to be like this, after 5 years we want to be like this, and maybe after 10 years we want to be like this. This is our career plan, and one should be clear. One should not cut a sorry figure if such a question is asked in the interview. So these are some of the things one should avoid while attending the interview. After the interview, something is to be done by the candidate. One is to review one's own performance in the interview. What was done in the interview, what sort of questions were asked, what was the gap, what were the good answers given by us, and those should be reviewed. So this is in sequence. What went well, we should have a record of that. What went bad also, we should have a record of that. What you wished you had said, that should also be written down somewhere. Prepare for next stage. So next stage is to be faced. If we are clear about our weaknesses at this stage, we will be able to fare well in the next stage of the interview. Invitation to second final round interviews. In this, assessment centers are there, psychometric testing can be there, and panel interviews can be there. And we should be preparing well for all these three kinds of interviews. A rejection letter, email, etc. In case we get a rejection letter, we should be ready to accept it. If we get a acceptance letter, again we should be ready to accept it. So one should take it in a positive way, and like a sportsman spirit, we should take acceptance, even rejection also. And there are telephone interviews held in some of the cases, and how to face these kind of interviews, there are certain points which one should remember. Prepare as thoroughly as for a real interview. You should consider that this is going to be a real interview, even though it is only telephonic interview. Select comfortable, private, quiet place for attending the interview, because sometimes things are not clear, something else is asked, and we give the answer in a different way. Advise flatmates re-answering phone, and then have copy of the CV ready with you, in front of you, while attending the telephonic interview. Have pen and paper also ready with you. If you want to note down something, you should have something to write it on. Prepare for usual interview questions. Whatever usual questions we have already discussed, you should be preparing well for those also. And because in the telephonic interview, the similar questions may also be asked, and you should be ready with the answers. And practice on phone, and you should practice, and you should have a practice on the phone also. Record answers, try standing, smile and use good gestures, avoid monotones, and be yourself. Don't show and don't copy others. At that stage, show your own self in the interview. Assessment centers, you may be sent to the assessment center for the next stage of the interview and for the next stage of the selection. Company premises or neutral venues are selected. Sometimes it includes social or informal events also. Meeting with recent graduates or managers. There can be a meeting with the current graduates or the managers available in the company. Activities include group exercises, practical tasks and exercises, and report writing can also be there. You may be asked to write a report on something. Oral presentations can be there. Psychometric assessments by means of tests can also be there, and then followed by interviews. So this is the next stage of the selection procedure. Simulates real work environment. So, simulate a real work environment, and in this exercise you will be judged on your performance in these kind of exercises, and you should be preparing well to face these kind of exercises and these kind of selection procedures. Psychometry tests as simple. You are to prepare well for psychometry tests. Take these tests online also, so that you get some experience of attending to psychometric tests. Under this, we discuss aptitude tests. Measure skills relevant to the position being offered. So, aptitude regarding the position, again some questions will be there and you will be asked to answer those questions. Verbal comprehension, evaluate logic of text. Numerical reasoning questions will also be there, and diagrammatic reasoning test will also be there under the aptitude. Watch timing, complete as many as possible. If negative marking is there, you have to see that only questions which you know, those should be answered. Personality questionnaires, and you can be put to the personality test also. Under these tests, look at personality style which is being offered. The role is being offered, and the personality with respect to the role you should know, and you should answer the questions accordingly. No right or wrong answers. Be spontaneous. Don't try to second guess. Give the answer which comes to your mind at the first stage. Tests include built-in checks. Employers may be looking for different personality profiles. So, you have to show your profile, and the employers will like to discuss that profile with the profile being looked for. Practice using online tests, which I have already told. Online tests be practiced so that you are ready and you have experience of attending to these kind of tests before the final interview. Other types of interviews can be behavioral, competency, group panel, telephone and video conferencing. Out of these 5, any interview can be there. Maybe only formal interviews, and maybe out of these any interview can be there, and you should be ready after doing a lot of practice. Behavioral, obtain information about how you behaved in prior situation, so that you should know your weaknesses and you should be caring for your weaknesses, and you should not be giving a bad impression in the next interview. Look at your future performance and avoid vague and abstract answer. Give exact and the correct answers. Lead off questions with, give me an example of, and describe a situation when you behave like a good organizer. Follow a pattern. If you have started with a pattern, follow that pattern to the end of the interview. Pre-planned, structured and focused answers be there in the interview, and these answers be consistent in all respects. Open-ended questions be asked. Use the STAR technique which we have already discussed. What is that technique? S stands for situation. You should be able to explain a situation, and that example should be ready with you. And next is the task which you did in that particular situation, and the action what you took to solve that problem in that situation, you have to tell. And finally, the results obtained you have to tell. And for all these things, you should have a ready answer available with you. It is used to create accomplishment stories, and in a proper way. When you are ready with your answer, you will be able to impress the interviewers. STAR is an acronym. Situation. Describe the situation in which you showed some technical skill. And task. What were you required to do under this situation? And action. What action you took to solve the problem, and what sort of rewards or the results you got, you have to write, you have to explain. And this is the STAR technique to explain any situation regarding any technical skill which is asked in the interview. and you should have confidence all the times. Why interviews make us nervous? Lack of confidence only. A little anxiety is a good thing, but total anxiety will ruin your interview and your chances of success in the interview. Preparation, focus, prepare, and practice. Heightened performance, overcoming interview anxiety to build confidence, and preparation, practice. Etiquettes to be followed while attending the interview. Be on time. You should not be late for attending the interview. You should rather reach the venue 10 minutes before the scheduled time. And turn off cell phone prior to the interview, and it should not be running while you are being interviewed. Switch off it. Shake hands formally at the beginning and end of the interview. Maintain good eye contact. Eye contact is something which every interviewer will like and appreciate. Write a thank you note after the interview to the interview board or the interviewers. And now we'll discuss the dress code which is to be followed while attending the interview. For men, suit, preferable jacket and tie should be there while attending the interview. Trousers, acceptable. Cologne, light application if any, okay, and it should not be perfume of thick quality. Dress socks, try to closely match the color of your dress pants. Color of your socks should be matching with the trousers. Shoes, no sneakers or sandals be used. Proper formal shoes be there. For women, suit, preferably pants and top, acceptable. Makeup, minimum nothing too bold. Jewelry, nothing too large or noisy. That would be distracting. Perfume, light application if any. The day of the interview, you have to prepare right from the very beginning of the day. Speak positively about yourself and others. In the family also, you have to speak positively every stage. Use body language to show interest, nod, sit forward, sit up straight and keep smiling all the time. Have a good mood before the interview. Interview success factors. Quickly we'll discuss the success factors which are there, which will give you the success in the interview. Verbal and written communication skills, including listening. When we talk about verbal communication, we give due importance to listening also. We should patiently listen what others are telling, and then we should give our own remarks. Analytical, logical thinking and problem solving. Interest in industry, company and function. The company, the organization which is offering us the job, which is interviewing us, we should show interest in that company and in that industry and in that function also, the role being offered to us. Interpersonal comfort and skills. We should demonstrate interpersonal skills also, and we should also demonstrate in the interview that we are a member of the team who will be performing to give the results to the company. Enthusiasm, and we should not miss on this particular point. We should show our enthusiasm to get this job, and we should show that we are really interested in this particular job. And then we have to show at one stage or the other stage leadership skills also. We are going to be the leader to lead the people, so we have to show leadership skills along with the organizing capability. And we are not to miss confidence also. Fear, if it is there, we should remove fear from our mind and heart, and instead we should show confidence. Staying focused on the question and not going off on tangent. Whatever question is asked, we should remain on the question. Our answer should be with respect to the question. It should not be off way. high energy but not overwhelming. We have to show high level of energy in the interview, and it should not be too much that people start getting bored. Ability to work well in teams. We have to demonstrate that we can work in the teams. Professionalism at all stage, we have to show that we are a professional person and we are able to give the results. High degree of intelligence is also required for attending the interview. Personal presence, we have to show that personally we are present. Projecting substance and credibility, we have to show that our credibility is there. Ability to think creatively, we have to show our creativity and lateral thinking skills in the interview. Personal fit with the company, we have to maintain. We have to show that personally we are fit in the company. Clear, concise answers be given. No answers be haywire. Clear cut, short and crisp answers must be given. And we have to show the honesty part, integrity part in the interview. And there are certain things which should be avoided at all stages. Lack of harmony should be avoided. Our one answer should be linked to the other answer. Being afraid of silence, okay, we have to avoid. The overly convincing candidate with no weaknesses, we have to avoid. We have weaknesses, we should admit also. Inappropriate clothes and behavior, we have to avoid at all stages. Speaking too quickly will be interpreted as nervousness. So we have to avoid that. We should answer slowly so that these answers are understood by the interviewers. Because if we speak quickly, and it will be considered as nervousness, and we should not show that we are nervous, we should show that we are confident. Not keeping calm even if you are put on stop. If you keep on talking, even if you are told to stop, then it gives a bad impression. We have to avoid this. And now we'll discuss certain frequently asked questions about you. So tell me something about yourself. This is a normal question and common question in all the interviews this is asked. Why you have made choices you have already made? Again, this is a question. Your strengths and weaknesses are asked. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? If you tell some weakness, and people will again ask you, what are you doing to get rid of this weakness? You should be ready with your answers. About your motivation for the employer and the position. Again, a question can be asked. Why you are interested in the company and why the company should select you? A simple question will be asked and you should be ready with the answer. And then job specific questions and the traits will be explored in the interview. If you are being offered marketing job, marketing questions will be asked. If you are offered finance job, finance regarding job questions will be asked. Similarly, other traits will be explored. In consulting, if you are in a consulting business, have many accomplishments to be accepted as an consultant. You have to narrate some of the accomplishments and you should be ready with your answers. Confidence and skills, both analytical and logical skills you have to demonstrate. In finance, have multiple skills, numerical reasoning, problem solving. These should be the skills which you should be possessing while attending the interview for the finance job. Fit within the company's framework and take initiative. In marketing, have good networking. This they want to judge. Effective communicator and take initiative. Have lot of confidence. As a researcher, able to lead, academically accomplished person and have confidence in own skills. And similarly, information technology, IT, again questions can be asked, have both software and hardware knowledge and the skills. Ready to take initiative, have leadership skills to guide the group working under you. In design, be in sync with creativity, with project accomplishments in his own field, ready to take initiative, have good network if you want a job in the design. And similarly, if you want a job in the HR, you should be ready with the following answers and you should be good communicator. understands the needs of the organization, able to connect with employer and the employees. These are the qualities and these are the traits one is looking for in the HR personnel. Now we'll discuss regarding personality development. So far we have discussed regarding interview skills. Now we'll devote some time on the personality development. What is personality? Different people perceive personality differently. Something important to me may not be important to others. And the personality requirement for one particular job are different for the personality requirement for other jobs. A political leader must have a different personality than a leader in a corporate world. So what exactly is personality? Is it something which we are looking at somebody? If somebody has a good looking personality, that his dress is good, his hairstyle is good, his movement is good, of course he has a good personality. But in certain conditions, certain jobs, these can be ignored also. We look for something else, which we call another aspect of the quality. So we shall be discussing different aspects of personality development and with respect to different traits. Now we'll discuss what is the meaning of personality. It is a noun, the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character, and this is distinctive to the individual. He has what sort of character, and that is related to his personality. Qualities that make someone interesting or popular is the meaning of personality. What sort of qualities he has which make him pleasant and which make him liked by others is the personality. Synonyms are character. Sometimes character is personality. Sometimes individuality is personality, and sometimes personage, person and figure is personality. This is in short the meaning of personality. Think positive and think positive thoughts only, both about yourself and others. In general, the thoughts that we think soon turn into the words what we are thinking, and the same thing will become verbal in our talks also. And what we talk, that will become action. So we should think positive all the time. Having good thoughts about yourself gives you self-confidence and self-respect, essential in any good person, in any situation, in any job, in any problem. So you should be thinking positive of yourself, positive of others. And step 1, never lose a chance to prove yourself. Whenever there is a chance, you want to show your worth, show it. In our day-to-day life, we come across several opportunities which could help ourselves in defining our personality, and we should not miss those opportunities. For example, if you are in a conversation with a group or individual, you must talk in a way that you can prove others what you are really. So don't miss any opportunity, and it does not matter if you say a line or a speech. The thing which will matter is the words of you, whether they were able to leave an impact on others or not. When we speak something, it should give an impact on the others. Our presence must give an impact to others. They keep thinking about us, and this is based on our own personality. Our presence should be underlined. So we have to, when we are present somewhere, we should speak something which is remarkable and which is worth noting also. The audience should make a note of our talk, and we should speak those things only. And this is step 2. Next is Look for famous people whose personality defined them. Think of good people, athletes, political leaders, artists, actors, and musicians who face challenges in their career every day. They have to face different problems, and they should show patience and perseverance in order to succeed. Many of them are humble in spite of their success and fame, and we should follow them. These are life skills which is learned culminate in the creation of a good personality, and this is step number 3. Look deep inside yourself and think about who you are. Many people find themselves to be better than apparent by reflection. Apparently, we may not be showing our true character, but we should explore ourselves inside what we are and what we are showing ourselves. And this is step number 4. Help wherever and whenever you can. A little sacrifice can go along in changing another person's day. So we should be helping others. This is again a trait of good personality. And this is step number 5. And we should remember in all our actions, in all our behavior. Always be yourself. You should not be copying others. What you are, you have to show your own personality. If you are following some famous personality or you are being just you, make sure that you never lose yourself. It means that you have to stick to that behavior every time, feel it in your blood. Whatever behavior you have to show that behavior only. You should not be copying others. Whatever behavior you are showing, that should be embedded in you and that should be in your blood. Every time showing the same sort of behavior, and that behavior you have to cultivate in you so that this behavior is liked by others with whom you are corresponding. And this is step number 6. Learn to love other people. Learn to respect others. Have faith and trust in others. Many bad personalities come about because people do not want to forgive each other and thus become filled with so much internal hatred that always negative thoughts are there whenever they see those personalities. So we are to love others even if something wrong has gone. So we are to forgive others for their wrongdoings. This makes them come off as bad and self-centered when all they lack is the insight to forgive and forget whatever may be the root of conflict between them. We have to forget, we have to forgive, and we have to move further with positive thoughts, with love and with affection. This is step number 7. Now we'll discuss personality development and 10 major steps to a winning personality. What do we want? We want to have good personality. We want to have winning personality. We want to have win-win situation in all the situations. Every individual who has attained success has learnt usually the hard way. All about the 10 major steps which we are going to discuss to winning personality. In order to achieve this, one has to learn that honesty and integrity are still in style and are the top essential qualities which one must have to have a good personality. A person must have enthusiasm, attitude, initiative, human relations, and all other pertinent qualities that are vital links in the chain of success. Here are 10 major steps to get that winning personality. So we should have a human touch, enthusiasm, and the leadership qualities to show our personality as a good personality. Improve your character. The first point under this chain is improve your character. A man's character is what he is inwardly, for character is the combination of qualities, traits and virtues that distinguishes the individual. It has been said that every man is three different individuals. So every man shows three individual characters. What are these? The man he thinks he is. What others thinks he is, the second. And the third personality he shows what he really is. One, he thinks about himself. Second is what others think about that person. And the third is what he really is. He is showing three different personalities. Each individual has his own distinctive qualities, and these qualities are what help to develop his reputation for honesty, integrity, and fair dealing. And the second point, develop enthusiasm. I have been telling develop enthusiasm at all stages. What is enthusiasm? The word is used to so often that it has almost become interchangeable with excitement or aggressiveness, and yet it also includes emotion, order, sincerity, eagerness, fervency, and intensity. A man who is full of enthusiasm about his work and his company can overcome a multitude of challenges and hardships. If somebody is enthusiastic about a job, so he can face all kind of hardships, all kind of difficult problems. So easily he can get the solutions that his positive attitude will show his strength. A spirit of sincere enthusiasm will help a man over many rough spots and will carry on from one job to another. A man who is known for his enthusiastic personality is always in demand. People will like to have the persons who are enthusiastic regarding solving any problem, facing any situation, and these kind of people are always in demand. Everyone likes them, everyone likes to have them in their team. Next point is good grooming, and again this is part of good personality. Good grooming is a distinct promoter of a winning personality. A person's appearance is extremely important in this modern world because people generally judge more from appearances than from what is not seen right away. And appearance comes from grooming, and grooming, a good grooming. However, those who think that in order to dress well, it is necessary to dress extravagantly make a big mistake. No doubt one should be dressed properly, but one should not be spending too much money on the dress only. A good first impression is important, but spending too much on clothing is not necessary. This is a point which is to be noted before we start developing our good personality. Fourth point, check your personal habits. What sort of habits you have, whether these are habits which are liked by others or not. Nothing contributes more definitely to an individual's winning personality than his good personal habits. Personal habits are really very important to make the personality as a winning personality. While each human being has his own peculiarities, distinct habits, and mannerisms, inhibiting good personal traits and habits help a person attain a winning personality. What is good habit? What is bad habit? One is to be very choosy about his own habits, because these habits will make him loser or make him winner in any situation. One should have good habits to make his personality a winning personality, having impact on others. Good habits become stronger if we do it frequently, if we keep on repeating, and these habits get embedded in our character. And sooner or later you would become so used to it. It will become so natural, you will not even realize that it has become a part of you and part of your life. Again, adopt only good habits so that these become part of your life. Develop a winning attitude. Now we'll talk about the attitude, and in all the situations one should have a positive attitude Not only positive, a winning attitude. A man's attitude towards life is maybe positive or negative, bright or gloomy. A person's attitude is so noticeable in his dealings with others. A bad or good attitude affects a person's reputation for better or worse. What sort of behavior he shows? It is noticed by others, whether a positive attitude or a negative attitude, whether a winning attitude or a loser member of the team. It is visible in the behavior, visible in the character, and visible in the working of individual. One should show always a winning attitude, a positive attitude, so that others also get attracted to the way of working of our. Attitude is largely a state of mind. It is nothing but the state of mind. And if your mind is taken up with pleasant, creative, and constructive ideas, it will definitely reflect in your attitude. You should always be having creative ideas in your mind. Only positive thinking and positive ideas in your mind. It will definitely reflect in your attitude. Attitude like positivity, poise, dignity, patience, and kindness have a favorable effect in person as a whole, and that we have to see that it is embedded in our personality. Be friendly. You have to show that you are friendly with others, other members of the team. Friendliness is that quality of sympathetic human relations that develops goodwill and builds firm friendship and good relations with others. In a time of need, others will help you if you are friendly with others. Friendliness leads to respect and loyalty, and eventually is transformed into affection and love. And if you have developed affection among the members of the team, which will help you in getting your goals achieved. Making friends with others and then meeting them halfway and constantly extending a helping hand to others helps improve not just your personality but your reputation with others and in the society. Intelligence quotient, IQ level should always be high, and you should be doing something to improve your IQ level at all the stages, at all the ages also. It goes almost without saying that your inherent intelligence must be expanded to the fullest degree. For that you have to practice. And fullest degree in order to gain and hold the respect and admiration of others. Avoid evidences of carelessness and superficial thinking. Instead, think with sincerity and confident knowledge. Show your confidence in the discussion with others and your sincerity when you are talking to others. Don't give any vague answers, don't talk in the air. Okay, give specific replies based on your own intelligence. And you should be building your intelligence, you should be improving your intelligence at all the times. Aggressive but in good way. You should show your aggressiveness to carry out a job and in a positive way. Not in a negative way that you are showing that you are in a hurry. And in a hurry, you may be meeting with a failure, you may be meeting with a success. But we want that you should always taste success. And then this can be achieved only by good aggressiveness. When saying aggressiveness, it doesn't mean one who is always inclined to aggressive arguments or one who is always seemed to be ready for fight. Instead, being aggressive in a good way means being able to know what you want to know and knowing exactly how to get it. That is aggressiveness. And picking up a fight with others is not aggressiveness. An aggressive personality like this is an asset, especially in business. When being aggressive to your goal, strive for diplomatic, tactful, constructive aggressiveness. And you should be aiming for tactful aggressiveness so that you are able to get the jobs done through others also. use your imagination, and here the creativity part of your character comes into picture. An individual must have creative imagination to become successful in any endeavor. Reality has its limits, but the world of imagination is boundless. If we talk about only facts and we aim at the results based on theories and principles, we will have only limited replies and the limited solutions. But if we take help from our creative mind, we can get infinite number of solutions to the problem. Encourage your imagination to soar to distant horizons, and then bring what you can make the most out of it. So use your creativity, use lateral thinking methods to solve the problem, to get more number of solutions to a particular problem than by getting only through scientific methods. Have the initiative. You should be there to take the initiative to solve the problem, and that nature should be embedded in your character. Initiative is one of the most dynamic words in the English language. A man with plenty of initiative is more often known as a self-starter. His entire personality becomes permeated with the ability to do things under his own steam, rather than wait for someone else to tell him when, where, how and what to do. He knows what exactly is to be done. He is the person who is taking the initiative. He is the person who wants others to follow him, because he has taken the initiative. He has the courage to take the initiative. He has courage to lead others and give a solution to the problem. When faced with issues, a man with an initiative doesn't ask anyone on how to go about it. Instead, faces the issues out of his own head, using his own method and his own techniques, and demonstrate the solution to others, and others starts following him. Try these different personality development tips to better your life. Now I am going to give you certain tips to make your life easy. If you embed these tips in your personality, these are going to help you in the long run. And tips to better your life: drink plenty of water, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a beggar. So you should devote your concentration more on the breakfast. Eat more foods that grow on trees and plants, and eat less food that is manufactured in plants. Here we are talking about green vegetables and the fruits which are available on the trees, and manufactured goods, the food which is being manufactured in the manufacturing plants. We should avoid those kind of foods. Live with 3 E's, and these 3 E's are energy, enthusiasm, and empathy. And make time for prayer also, and these are the tips. Play more games, and the games will give you energy, and the energy is your body, and energy is to your mind also. Read more books than you did last year. Every time you should be devoting more and more time on reading. Last year you gave certain time, and this year the time spent on the reading books should be more than the last year. Sleep for at least 7 hours a day, and take a 10 to 30 minutes walk every day, and while you walk, keep smiling all the time, and that will add to your personality. Fundamental techniques in handling people. Now I am talking about the things one should take care of. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain of any person with whom you are dealing with. Give honest and sincere arouse in the other persons an eager and want. There are 6 ways to make people like you. You should build a personality so that people starts liking you, become genuinely interested in other people's affair. Show your genuine interest that you want to know something about other also. Second is keep smiling. Even some problem is there, keep smiling. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. So address people with their first names. Be a good listener. You should try to listen carefully what others are talking. Then analyze and then speak. And talk in terms of other person's interests. Keep it in mind others people interest all the time. When you are taking any decision, when you are speaking something, when you are talking something, you have to see that other person's interest is given due importance. Make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. You have to show that other persons are also equally important as you are. This not only by speaking, with all types of gestures and your body language, you have to show that other persons are very important. Win people to your way of thinking. How to do that? The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. So, make a habit to avoid any argument so that there is no hard feeling in the minds of the people who are discussing. Show respect for other person's opinion. Other person is telling you something and you are not listening. It's bad thing. It's bad and it is against good personality. If you want to have a good personality and show respect to other person's feelings also, other person's opinion also. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. And sometimes it so happens that you are wrong and you are proved wrong also. And at that stage, my advice is you should admit it immediately without giving any reason. And that is a part of good personality. Begin in a friendly way. When you are talking, when you are given a chance to open a discussion, start it with a friendly manner. Get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. Give your own point of view so that the other people should say yes, yes and yes to your opinion so that you are taking others along. Let the other person do a great deal of talking. Allow others to talk and you should talk less so that other person's opinion is heard and you are also adding to it. Let the other person feel that idea is his or hers. You are telling something. If you tell that this is your idea, people will raise questions. But the same thing, if you make sure that other people feel that this is their idea rather than your own idea, then people will like to implement that idea and people will appreciate that idea and people will praise that idea. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. You have given your own point of view. Now you are to see the things from the point of view of others so that you can understand their point of view, their problems and even details of their solutions also. So you are to see other people's point of view also. And then try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Other people's ideas are there and you are to hear them sympathetically and you have to show interest in other people's idea also. Appeal to nobler motives and dramatize your ideas. Here, one thing I want to emphasize, I don't say that you should not be telling your ideas, but you have to tell your own idea, because you know that your idea is better than anybody else's idea. And then in that case, if required, you should be dramatizing your idea so that it is clearly understood by others and they should start following. And if you keep it in your mind all the time, it will get embedded in the personality. Throw down a challenge, and if you want a solution to a problem, then have a challenge also. Now we will discuss something which is how to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. Now we want to change people, we want to change people's habits, and if we tell them as such, then there will be resentment. So there are ways to tell them that you require a change in your habits, you require a change in your character, and we should be telling them in such a way that they get interested in bringing in a change. A leader's job often includes changing your people's attitude and behavior. Some suggestions to accomplish this are: begin with praise and honest appreciation. Here, if you start the dialogue by praising somebody, he will start listening you, and rather he will get attracted towards you and he will concentrate on what you are talking. Here is again one example. If you want something to be done by other people, you have to show what sort of benefit they are going to get first, and the benefits what others will be getting at a second stage, at a later stage. First you have to tell them what sort of benefits you will be getting after doing this particular job. If somebody gets a benefit, definitely he is going to adopt that method, and this way of working should be embedded in our personality. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. If you have found a mistake in other people's behavior or other people's working, don't tell them directly. You are to show the same thing in an indirect manner. But you have to remember that if somebody makes a mistake, he is not to be punished for that. Rather, give him some encouragement. Nowadays, one likes that if one has made a mistake, he should be the first person to go to his boss and tell him that I have made a mistake and I have a solution ready with me, and I will be implementing this solution so that the mistake is not mistake. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing other person. A good method is you have noticed some mistake in another body working. So start with your own mistake which you have made. And praise the slightest improvement somebody has shown. So you have to praise others first if you want something done by others. And this kind of behavior you have to embed in your personality. Today we discussed some of the traits one should have to have a good personality, and these traits can be developed by practicing. And we have shown the ways how to demonstrate good personality in different occasions and different situations. And now I would request my viewers, they should also start developing good personality by practicing the traits which have been told and which have been discussed, so that one should have a positive attitude all the time to get other people help to solve the problems. Thank you so much for attending this lecture.
So, well friends, with these words we conclude the lecture, and certainly if you have positive attitude, you will emulate the personality which you want to have. So with this word, I think you have got the how a personality, you can make a personality what you want, and there are other section of the softer skills we will try to understand in further lectures tomorrow. and I hope you will listen those things. So I thank all of you for watching the lecture, and on your behalf I thank Dr. Subhas Kakkar for giving such an insightful lecture on interview skills and personality development. Thank you very much.